What is up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to be walking through the current offering of Victoria Beckham Beauty, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys my experience with every single product in her line, the makeup line. I have not tried her skincare, and giving you guys a what's worth it and what's not. This is not a best and worst. I do really think this is an exquisite line, which I think is why I deem it worthy of a deep dive. This video is also, I never do this, but it's dedicated to my friend Ted McKnight of Buffalo Beauty Boy, because he and I have been messaging back and forth. He's like, okay, the lip gloss, which just came out, and I have it right here, he said that might push me over the edge to finally pulling the trigger on the cart that I have had full for ages. And I said, you know, feel free to ask me any questions if you need to know like what's good and what isn't. Then I was like, I'm just gonna make a video. I'm using the gloss as an excuse basically, and I have owned everything in her makeup line, like every formula, but I don't actually have all of it on hand still. I have decluttered a little bit of it, and I did do a full application closer in, so I will be sticking in inserts of the application of as many of her products as I could fit on my face today. And my feelings on these products have evolved over time using these products for a while now. So some of this might be review for you if you've been watching my channel for a while, and some of it might be news. So I will definitely give you guys kind of an up or down on every single product and who I think they're for. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, I will have all of the products listed down below that I have on my face, not just the Victoria Beckham Beauty ones. So there are other things obviously on my face. She does not have a foundation or a concealer or a setting powder or anything like that so far. The first thing from Victoria Beckham Beauty that I put on today was this, the matte bronzing brick in 01. The two shades in here are Warm Dusk and Contoured Sun-Kissed. So these are the two, and it's definitely uncommon that you see such a light colored bronzer. That was one of the main appeals of this to me, because I have a lot of trouble finding a bronzer that is believable on my skin. Everybody has a unique need when it comes to bronzers. That said, this is a very good bronzer for me. I find that the formula is velvety, incredibly finely milled. It never hard pans on me. It's not cakey. It goes on so smoothly, and it never stamps. It's awesome. It's just a really, really beautiful formula, and it is matte, which I love. A lot of times these formulas tend to kind of take liberties, and they're like, you probably, if you want to look sun-kissed, you probably want a little bit of shimmer in there, don't you? And it's like, not really. You know? This is a very straightforward illusion building compact, and it is quite large, especially for a Victoria Beckham type offering. The prices are not low, okay? Victoria Beckham Beauty, if you're unfamiliar with it, these are, I think, yes, replaceable pans, so I can lift that out, I can stick something in there and pop that out, and so you only ostensibly have to buy this beautiful, heavy, metal compact one time. The matte bronzing brick is $58 USD. This is a luxury line we're talking about here, and this particular product does feel very luxurious start to finish. I feel like it hits all the marks. You have the mirror inside the compact. Don't judge mine, it's really dirty. I use this a lot. This is actually my favorite powder contour. It's a believable powder contour. It doesn't go on too heavy, and it's not too gray. Those are all very, very personal. It comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades. It gets pretty darn deep, and you guys let me know in the comments if you have deep skin and you have used this, whether it is deep enough for you. I do not know firsthand, but there are 5 shades. This definitely gets my stamp of approval, absolutely. Now, that comes with a caveat of if you can find your undertone. All bronzer lines are different, so definitely, you know, look at the swatches online and everything, but all that to say, if luxury is something that is worth your money, this definitely delivers on the luxury promise, from formula to packaging experience and sustainability. Okay, the next thing, and I want to compare the sizes here, okay? Because holding one up and then holding the other one up, you might not really notice the difference, but they are quite different in size, you know, almost half the, I would say about half the size. So this is the Smoky Eye Brick. I have it here in the colorway Signature, and it is $56 for this little guy. This was in the initial release of Victoria Beckham Beauty. I also have Silk, which is the shimmer brick. There is no pan separation, but unlike Kjaerweis, you can actually get a brush individually in any of these. It's very, very easy. And in this one, there is this beige, a pink, a deep brown that ostensibly could be used as an eyeliner, and then more of a contour crease shade type brown. That said, you could use it any way you wanted to. Now, between both of them, I really respect what these are because they are concise, they are really high quality, the packaging is really, it just feels really, really luxurious. But my feelings have changed on this over time based on the fact that I just don't reach for them. I have no idea where Silk went though. Like, I have no idea. She has like flown the coop, I don't know. But the reason that I don't reach for these is because you guys know, when I am rating any kind of item of makeup or beauty or what have you in terms of whether or not I think it's worth your dollar, or 56 of them in this case, my main criteria are, is it easy and is it fun? This is very easy. The actual pigment payoff leaves a lot to be desired for me. I would compare it to Kjaerweis in that sense, just the impact of the shades, the saturation of the colors, they're just not particularly like memorable. I have trouble feeling like this is fun. Even the shimmery Silk one, they're just not that fun to me. There's nothing particularly like payoff, excitement, anything about them. And it's not just because they're not glittery. I understood I was buying a matte compact. There are still matte formulas that excite me because of just their creaminess and their luxurious feeling and stuff like that. These do feel luxurious, they're just not exciting. There's nothing exciting about this, and there is nothing fun to me about this. So if you are a person who does actually rank the worthiness of a makeup item for your dollars by it being fun, skip these. They're just not that fun. And everybody did really tell me, you know, like, definitely go buy the Silk one. The Silk one is pretty, it really is, but an entire compact of shimmers also isn't that useful to me, especially in this delivery system of, you can travel with this. It's supposed to be tiny. It's a mini palette that's supposed to be all in one, solve your problems, and an all shimmer palette doesn't really do that for me. So it wasn't exciting for me in that sense either. Like, it wasn't practical, useful, worth my $56 in that sense. So if you are looking at your cart, Ted, anybody, and this is using up $56 that you're worried about, I would skip it. It's just not that exciting. Now, if what you're looking for is excitement, I present to you the lid lusters. They are exciting. They came out with 4 shades, I think, in the initial release, and I bought 2 of them. I bought Mink and Blonde. I was pretty disappointed with them. Actually, I bought Blonde later on, but when I first got Mink, and I actually am wearing Mink on my eyes today because I wanted to refresh my memory on her. So this is Mink, and I layered these on top of the matte look that I had already created with the other palette. And I found that they didn't really want to stick on top of that shadow, which I found to be interesting. I don't think I had ever, or at least maybe not in recent memory, layered them. And the lid lusters don't really want to layer on top of the Smoky eye brick for whatever reason. But the thing that I don't love about Mink is when it swatches, you know, that's really beautiful, right? It's kind of a neutral taupe with a little bit of rosiness behind it, and then it has this very cool toned shimmer shift to it. So it's 2 distinct parts, right? There is that creamy feeling powder that is the shade, and then there is the glitter on top. It's the glitter on top that is a pewter color that is what rubs me the wrong way, because when I start to spread it out on my eyes, it goes so cool toned that it's like kind of a sickly gray on me. Stuff has to be pretty freaking cool toned to do that on me. A lot of times the little bit of yellow in my undertones does counterbalance something that goes cool, and it'll still pull pretty neutral. This is overwhelmingly cool toned pewter, and I just feel like it puts an unflattering color on my eyes. You know, gray is just not my color, and that doesn't look gray in the pan or in a swatch or online or anything. Woo! Woo! Now, Blonde was another very large differential between my expectations and the reality. I didn't put this on my eyes today because it doesn't really do what I expect it to. It is a wild color. I have tried to use this on its own, And I just can't, I mean, it's just a little too Bjorky for me. So the way that this actually looks on the skin is an extremely icy white, but then the actual shift of it is this almost green gold. And you know, Kyla Fish, eat your heart out. She can wear a green gold, but I cannot. And I think that it is actually a lot to ask for anyone's undertones to tolerate a cool toned white and a green gold. Like, that's a lot. That's a very, very specific person. I'm not even sure that person exists. And it just isn't what I thought it was going to be. I really thought it was gonna be this very finely milled, painting with magic kind of beautiful icy champagne color, which it almost is, that I was going to be able to use as an inner corner highlight or something like that. But the fact is, it's too chunky, it packs too much of a pigment punch in terms of that very, very cool white, and then that gold just ruins it. It makes it really hard to know what to do with it, because even if you know what to do with a very cool white, it then goes green gold, and it's like, you know, it's too much of a curveball, and I find it to be a very impractical shade. That said, then she released Honey and Tea Rose. Tea Rose was the first one that I put on my eyes today on top of the matte look, and it was something I saw on State of Kate's channel. We have just slightly different undertones, and she doesn't love mucky, mauvey, lavender undertoned rosy colors the same way that I do. And she just thought it was a little bit too purple, but just like I always say, a lot of times I make sure to enumerate the drawbacks, because those drawbacks could be the selling points for you. It could be like, well, thank God, that's exactly what I've been looking for. I saw Tea Rose on her and I was like, look, everything that you just said about it that is what you don't like is like my ideal. So I am in love with this. Tea Rose is like this dialed in, gorgeous, perfect, mucky mauve. It's just the perfect, dusty, lavender undertoned rosy color, and the shift on it is actually a really beautiful gold, like a pure gold. So you're not sacrificing any kind of usability because it's just overwhelmed by a really odd shift or anything like that. For me, it's super wearable, and I think that that gold shift means that, you know, it's going to look really great on a lot of skin tones. Gold is, you know, that really nice neutral gold is going to pick up different things in different people's skin tones, but it's a lot easier to wear than a green gold, you know? So I really love it. I feel like the formula on this one is a little creamier, a little bit more emollient. They are powders, but they're like this funky powder. And I just think that like this is such a giant leap forward. Of course, when you put out an initial release, there's so much that goes into these things that there are going to be some, you know, some things that you want to fix on the next iteration, And I feel like allowing for that, Tea Rose and Honey just steal the show. They're unbelievable. Let's look at Honey real quick. Okay, so speaking of wearable golds, Honey is another like color that just, I'm only guessing, but it seems to be something that would work a lot better on a lot more skin tones. It is so neutral that it's almost copper. So it's like a camel color, right? It's so easy for me to wear. It's a perfect, perfect gold that doesn't go yellow, doesn't go green, doesn't do anything kind of funky or icy or anything like that. And I think that the advantage of the newer ones is that the shift in the glitter is super, super similar to the base color. They're not trying to do any kind of duo, trichrome things. Leave that to Pat McGrath and all the indie companies that are really crushing it out there. By the way, I did just buy the only two that were still in stock, but still, 2 shades of the Danessa Myricks, her multi-chrome flakes. Y'all, it's about to get really exciting up in here. But that said, these are so practical, and I feel like this is very much what like the Smoky Eye Brick and Silk was going for, is to have a palette of things that were like this beautiful and this easy to use, but just go for the lid lusters, you know? Like just focus your attention, focus your dollars on getting a shade that you really, really like, because the formula is just so much easier to use. This is very much a fingers formula, and you guys know I'm not much of a fingers girl. That said, once you get it on your skin, you can spread it out very easily with a brush, but much like many other of these single pot shadows that are meant to be kind of one and done, and they have that odd powder but it feels creamy type formula. They don't pick up very well on a brush. So just keep that in mind. If you are someone who like will not dip your finger in an eyeshadow, these aren't gonna be for you. They're just not agreeable to picking up with a brush, but if you can apply them to your skin, they'll spread with a brush. So my stamp of approval absolutely goes to Tea Rose and Honey, which will come as absolutely no surprise to anyone who's watched my channel for, you know, the past few months. And then, you know, Mink and Blonde, I would absolutely pass on, not just from a personal standpoint. It's a rare one where I'm like, I don't really know if anybody would like love, maybe if those weird shifts excite you. But if you're looking for something that is super wearable and like skin tone native, these shades are just odd. They're really contradictory inside the shades themselves. Like there's too much difference between the shade and the glitter. The lid lusters are $36. Oakley dokley, let's talk about some eyeliners. She did really concentrate her efforts in these initial releases on eyes. And while there's no complexion products or anything, there's no blushes yet, she has something for everything on the eyes. Coming back to the Satin Cajole eyeliners. These are $26. I have cocoa, black, I had burgundy, and I have bronze. I was influenced very strongly to buy bronze by Miss Nikki Girois. She influences me all the time. But what is so freaking lovely and remarkable about the Satin Cajole liner formula is that it is a gel formula. I always pull the wrong end off first. It's a gel formula that goes long wearing. So it starts out so smooth and soft on the skin. This is bronze. Another absolutely gorgeous dialed in shade from Victoria Beckham. I mean, it's just an eyeliner like I have never seen before. Nikki very much sold this to me as a barely there, no makeup kind of eyeliner. I like to use it on my lower lashes. That's what I did today because it is that smoky look underneath my eyes, but without being like dark brown, which can almost read as black on me a lot of times, and it'll make my eyes look smaller. This is just kind of adding to the smokiness and getting closer to my lash line. It is a little bit on the patina green side though, so careful with that. It's not quite as neutral as Honey, but it is this beautiful movable formula that spreads out. You know, you could almost wear that as an eyeshadow. It has that much saturation, but then it does dry down and it does wear all day and it doesn't smudge. When I say smudge, if you reached up, it might smudge, but it doesn't drool. It doesn't run down your eyes or anything. It is a beautiful, like really exquisite formula, which is why I have owned so many of them. And you guys know, I'm typically a powder eyeliner kind of girl. Like I use an eyeshadow powder on a brush, usually for my eyeliner, but these are, they're worth the toil of pulling out an extra product for me, because like if I am going for that true smudgy eyeliner look, this is one of the most agreeable formulas out there. And then for what she's selling, these are not crazy expensive. And in terms of their like sustainability and everything, they are a wood pencil and you can opt out of getting a sharpener. And those absolutely get my stamp of approval if you couldn't tell already. As far as eyeliners go, I think that they are beginner friendly, long wearing, worth your money, and just a really uncommon formula. I have never found an eyeliner that's that soft that performs that well. I won't spend too long here because you guys know that I love this, but this is her mascara. This is called the Future Lash Mascara and it is a very effective tubing formula. It comes in glass. We love to see it. It is also, I think, $28. $28. Memory served. And it only comes in black currently. I love this not just because it's a very effective tubing formula, but because of this fun, lovely, tiny little brush. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, and it will take a little bit longer to get the volume because you're not picking up quite as much product each time. But if you have the patience, this builds and builds and builds. It's so utterly beautiful, and it actually is an extremely effective tubing formula. It wears for, you know, as long as you want. And then it comes off in very satisfying full tubes in the shower or with warm water. So I can't say enough about this formula. I think it's beautiful. I have heard some complaints. Some people just don't like the brush. Totally fine. But I mean, you know, it's the only mascara I've ever come across that's in glass, and it has lasted ages. I think I bought this in January and it's still totally fine. It doesn't make my eyes itch. So those are her eye products so far that she has right now. There are no brow products. Now we'll move on to lips. So I do have one, where did it go, of her lip definers. I have it in the shade 2. And again, this was part of the initial release. And as soft as those eyeliners are, these are very, very stiff lip pencils, which, you know, it's just important to point out. Everybody has a preference, right? It's like, I want it to glide. I don't mind if it's really creamy, and that means it kind of blends away. And then some people are like, I want it to be stiff because then it'll stay put kind of thing. This one is a stiff, stay put kind of lip liner. It's just a preference thing. Reminds me a lot of the Wayne Goss ones, which remind me quite a bit, I believe, of the MAC ones, if memory serves. Forgive me if it doesn't, it's been a long time, but this is a beautiful shade. So, so beautiful. And I actually do like the formula. I can pretty much like appreciate any lip liner formula. I don't think I've ever found one that really like offends me, but very, very pretty color, very kind of dialed in rosy brown. These are $24. It comes in 7 shades. I love it. It goes 1 through 6 and then red. Yeah, I think that that's sort of the idea between the 1 through 6 is that they are supposed to be kind of, you know, a range of nudes, and then there's red. Okay, let's talk about her lip colors besides the lip liner. First, I'll talk about the Posh lipstick. I have 2 of these. Today I have pulled out the shade Pixie. I don't love this shade on me. I feel like I do have to correct for it. It's a little bit too pale of a nude for me, and it's also too kind of peach. As far as the packaging, absolutely so beautiful. I mean, it's this delicate, you know, I don't know, it's like a Virginia Slim of a lipstick tube, you know? All these bullets are usually kind of squat, and this one's just so elegant. It's like having really, really long nails. There's just something really fab about it. Also, the formula is gorgeous. I just happened to not really pick the right colors for myself initially. I love the purple one, but this one is just not really for me. I enjoy it very muchly, and I would highly recommend this if you can find your shade in it. And it is, how much are these? $38. So for $36, there is the Bitten lip tint. I decluttered mine. I bought the original shade, which is called Bisou, which is a very much like a Clinique black honey kind of color. And since then, she's come out with 2 more. There is Cherie, which is kind of a rosy color. It's a little bit more berry, I guess. And then there's Amore, which is like a peachy color. Neither of those colors particularly works on me. And so I have not felt tempted to try it again. The reason that I decluttered it is because it's very much a lip stain. I find it to be kind of runny, inconsistent in pigmentation, and not the right color for me. So I've definitely seen a lot of people really like it. I just haven't found the formula to be like the answer to anything that I wanted for the way that it looks on my skin. It's like, I love my lips. Let's make my lips look awesome, you know? And there's just something about that Bitten lip tint where I put it on, I'm like, that was a lot of work, not a lot of payoff. My lips don't look more plump. They don't look healthier. The color was really difficult to kind of disperse evenly, and it's stainy. And when I say it's stainy, I mean, it's like if you screw up and you get it in the wrong spot, it's gonna leave a mark. It's just a little bit too consequential for me, and I would definitely pass on it if it were me. It's not easy, it's not fun, and it's expensive. Well, gosh, guys, I think that that leaves only one product left to review, and that is the brand new Posh Gloss. This only comes in clear. It's $28. It also comes in glass, and it has that beautiful tortoise shell smeared blurred kind of lid on it that's just so beautiful. I'm actually going to read the description on this so that we can get the claims. Oh my God in heaven. Those are some tiny letters. Woo, there we go. Reflective, show-stopping, 70s worthy shine, incredible cushion, no stickiness. Victoria takes gloss from 0 to 100 with this hydrating, lip-plumping formula that is so clearly Posh. The shade Ice is crystal clear. Packaging true to Victoria style. Posh Gloss is streamlined, chic, and covetable. It comes housed in a glass bottle with a cap adorned with her signature horn pattern. So I'm wearing this currently at the very moment, and I will reapply here for you on camera. So the component, you know, like I said, she's in glass and has just a nice little flat applicator. When I first saw the description of this, I thought it was going to be a liquid lip balm, a la Rowan. M Cosmetics or Vesca or Fit Glow. It's not. It is a much more straightforward lip gloss formula. It is not syrupy sticky. It does do a really good job of everything that they say that it does, having that really glassy shine and filling in the lines and stuff. Plumping, I'm not totally sure. I'm not sure what ingredients it might have in it that are intended to be plumping because it's not warm. Capri triglyceride and aloe butter. They say that that's the moisturization and plumping. So instant plumping is coming from aloe butter. I don't know what the science is there, but all that to say, it's a beautiful lip gloss, but it kind of reminds me of Tower 28 or Glossier. It's a lot less sticky and a lot less syrupy than Glossier. It doesn't, this whole video, it hasn't done anything creepy on the inside of my lips. That is a winner to me, okay? Like that makes it worth it all day long. However, I mean, there's less product in this tube than there is in a Glossier lip gloss, and it is twice the price. I mean, we're talking about a, you know, a luxury whole experience here, whatever, if that matters to you. And it's very, very pretty. If the whole experience matters to you. If the performance is the only thing that matters to you, the performance is not particularly special. And I would go with Tower 28 because Tower 28 gives me the same amount of shine and lip fillingness and lightweightness and everything, and it's just a lot less expensive, and it's not as sticky as Glossier. Now, if what you thought it was is the same thing I thought it was, you thought it was going to be a clear liquid lip balm type formula with that wonderful non-sticky kind of slip to it, the Morning Dew from M Cosmetics is out of this world. It has that, and so does the Fit Glow. The Fit Glow, they have a, I believe they have a regular clear, I'm not totally sure, but I know that they have the like overnight treatment, which is the same thing except it also has ceramides in it. And I have that, it's lovely, and you know, I think that those are really, really lovely, nourishing formulas. Especially, I mean, you're getting a lot more product for your money in both cases, but I can't say anything really bad about this. It's just more like its context within the market. I feel like it's worth pointing out that this is, at the end of the day, just a really nice clear lip gloss. There's nothing particularly innovative about it. So it's super comfortable. I like wearing it. I do think it is pretty. I do think my lips look healthy. I'm not sure if they look plumped, but they look healthy. And I'm glad that I own it, but like if none of those things that I have enumerated really excites you and you have a cart full and you'd like to take $28 out of it, then like, you know, this is not exactly anything to super write home about. It's just a nice lightweight lip gloss in a beautiful package. I would say that that pretty much sums it up. I don't own every single colorway, like I said, but I think I was able to speak to every formula and my feelings on those formulas, so I hope that this was helpful. If it was, do give it a thumbs up, guys. If you want to keep hanging out with me on this channel, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you guys did. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me today. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.